The Athletic Files. Today, we have our guest, Daniel the Ram Ramsey. Daniel, welcome to the Athletic Files.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
How are you doing today?
Pretty alright. Can't
Pretty all right?
complain.
Okay. Now, first of all, today's Sunday, so I believe we should start off with a little prayer. You know what I mean? You
Respect.
could bless Athletic Files with a small prayer, sir.
No problem. Dear Heavenly Father, continuous thank you for another opportunity for life, dear Father. Thank you for the opportunities you have given us today, the blessings you've given us today. And this prayer all goes well with this interview. I hope that all this interview others can be encouraged to step out from whatever you're going through and, realize that sports is one of the avenues that they can find purpose and reason. All these things are more real in your son most worthy and precious name. Amen.
Amen. All right. Now, Mr. Ram, first question today. What is the first sport you ever played?
Believe it or not, the first sport I ever played was badminton.
Okay.
I think I started I would say badminton because that was one of the sports I really started to go into when I reached secondary school.
Yeah.
Um, Believe it or not, I tell a lot of people this, but I was called up for national trials at least twice for badminton.
Mhm.
In my early stages, that was around, let me say, 13, 14.
Mhm.
Um, didn't really work out for me, but that was one of the first sports
Yeah.
I picked up in my early stages.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So, who would you say inspired you or motivated you to get into sports?
Um, I came from a background of athletes in my family. So most of my uncles, even my mother, my dad to some extent too. But mostly my uncles they competed and represent Barbados in different aspects in track and field. Um, let me say from CRIFTA and CUT games. I had one uncle that ran the Olympics one year,
Okay.
400 hurdles.
Mhm.
Um, so it runs in family. I have two cousins that went overseas to college to run track as well.
Mhm.
So it runs in family, and it just felt natural to continue in that vein, and just find something to do in terms of sports.
Okay. Understood. Understood. Right. So, can you tell us your earliest memory of competing?
Um, I was in primary school. I played cricket in primary school as well.
Mhm.
It wasn't as I say as long as the other sports I've played.
Mhm.
Um, but cricket in primary school in class 3 and 4, the primary school tournaments, whatever the case may be. Well, it was at Belmont Primary.
Mhm.
Then as I said, after that was badminton, and then that transitioned into the main sport in play now, which is rugby.
Okay. My next question is, what is the biggest lesson sport has ever taught you about life?
Um, Life comes with disappointments, right? Um, especially when trying to make teams or trying to get into certain teams. You don't always make it the first time, the first try. Um, there are many years, especially in also in badminton and rugby as well. You train hard and you put in your work, and then sometimes you don't make the cut.
Mhm.
Um, it kind of showed me that with every disappointment, there's something you could gain from it.
Correct.
You keep trying, putting the work. At some point, the reward comes. Um, it also causes me to be a little more patient in the process sometimes, because we as people sometimes like to make the process or like the process to happen and the
In
result
their
to happen
turn.
now.
Correct.
Um, so that's something for me personally that I have come to understand about the trust in the process. Not everything works out the way you want it to and the time you want it to.
Okay.
So yeah, that's one of the lessons I've learned over time.
Okay. So, since we're on obstacles, what is the toughest obstacle you have ever faced?
Uh, I would say in my rugby career, probably when I hurt my knee.
Okay.
Um, that was a long stint of probably one of the worst injuries I ever had.
Mhm.
Tore my meniscus, stretched some ligaments and some tendons. So I think for me that taught me to trust the process a little more. As I said before,
Mhm.
as bad as you want to get back on the field and play, you have to put in the work in terms of rehab and exercising and strengthening muscle again, and taking a time and gradually going back into, playing and training, that kind of stuff. So for me, the first time when I injured my knee, getting back into the thing was like, okay, all right, I know I injured my knee, doctor said 4 weeks. 4 weeks started getting back in. That was a mistake I made in the first instance. So in that process of rushing to go back into to play rugby, at that time was still playing juniors and playing seniors as well at that time. So trying to push myself to get back into the selection pool, it kind of yeah. So trying to get back into that pool of selection, it kind of forced myself into recovering faster,
Okay.
which caused more damage than good. So I battled with that injury for, let me say, 2-3 years, and then I had to take a break and step back and actually really focus on rehab and seeing a different physiotherapist, and actually putting the lessons into practice, basically. So strengthening muscles, taking time off, recovery, seeing the therapist on a weekly basis, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would say that was probably one of the biggest obstacles, among others. But to me, that was one of the biggest obstacles at the time, because for me personally, I was contemplating that stop playing altogether and that's forget about it, because it felt like it was never going to fix itself, basically. As I said, so it taught me a lot of patience in that area, and that was probably one of the biggest obstacles in my career that I could think about.
Okay, no, I understand that in terms of injuries, because mentally and physically it's hard to come out, especially from a knee injury.
Yeah.
In a physical sport such as rugby. No, my question is, you had to have doubts, right?
Yeah, for
How
sure.
did you overcome those doubts?
I would say for me, it's the community and the company that you keep. I think at that time, people in my corner kind of, stuck with me, and, told me, well, you can still do it. You have enough time, just take your time and gradually get back into things. Because as I said, I think at that period of time, I was still young. I was like between the ages of, let me say, 16 and 19, around there. So in my brain, I was like, shoot, well, if I take time off, I don't know if I can get back in and that kind of stuff. So I would say the community and people around me, especially my parents at the time, parents of my brother at the time, kind of, kept my head on and said, well, you're good at this sport. Don't stop now. I think that's one of the mental skills I grew over time, is trying to believe in yourself as much as you could, and also allowing people in your circle to come in to encourage you as well, because you can't do it by yourself. A lot of people say you could do it by yourself, but realistically, you can't. You need some kind of backing.
Correct.
To push to keep you on the process. So along the way, you gain some people in your life, some new people in your life. You also lose some as well, because not everyone believes in your dream. Let me be honest.
Correct.
Right? So for me, the biggest thing that helped me along that way was probably the community and the circle I kept.
Understood. So positive support system.
Yeah.
Aided you through that tough time. Understood. My next question is, was one mistake that you made in your career, that turned out to be a valuable lesson that you carried over to life? This athletic fuzz, these ask deep questions.
Yeah. You got me.
These ask deep questions. These ask deep questions.
You got me in my thoughts a little bit. I would say one of the biggest mistakes. I will go back to the same knee injury, and any injury in general. As bad as you would like to get back into the game as quickly as possible, sometimes it causes more damage than good. For me, that was the issue. For me, one of the biggest mistakes I made, rushing that first year trying to get back in, it caused more damage than good. So when I went back, I remember going back to the doctor, because it felt like nothing was changing. It felt the same way, the pain, the swelling, all that stuff. So I had to go to a sports specialist, Renee Best, And when he did his assessment, he was like, "Well, Rachel, you literally have no muscle in your leg right now because the fact of I continue playing
Hmm.
and the rest of the muscles around the knee had to compensate for the knee injury.
Yeah.
So to me, that was one of my biggest mistakes. And what I took from that there now is that something you have to take your time.
Patience.
Yeah,
Correct.
patience,
Patience is key.
and a strong mental background. Um, so as I said, strong mental background, and then a positive influence of people around you. So that was probably one of the biggest mistakes I made at that time, because even though I had to step back and miss out on some games and tournaments, whatever the case may be,
Mhm.
I still come back and I still came back
Mhm.
into an environment that I was still able to perform even after.
Yeah,
Right?
understood. Understood. No, my next question to you is: how important do you think sports are for the youth development in Barbados?
Uh,
Being that you come from badminton and rugby, a sports background and family too as well.
yeah.
How do you think that
Um,
sports can develop the youth in Barbados?
I think sports is a very important backbone of the community. If you go back, I find now not so much, but back in the days, because even outside of rugby, I used to play football on a Thursday night with the guys in the neighborhood.
Mhm.
Um, every Thursday night we used to go and play football, and to me, that kind of community where you just come out and just play and run ball and relieve that stress. Because for some people, just getting out and running and playing football, not on a serious level, but just that level of activity helps create, um, that platform of release.
Mhm.
And then you have people around you where that are just trying to keep out of trouble basically.
Mhm.
So I believe that sports gives that avenue where of a positive influence.
Mhm.
It gives people and youth a community where you have people saying like mindedness.
Mhm.
Um, if you're just trying to be in a club where people want to play football, you have those. Then you have people that want to aspire to play for the national team or
Mhm.
go beyond and be semi-pro, every case may be. Then you find people in that same circle, and then that propels you into that mindset of, okay, well, if I continue on this path, something good can happen. But then if I stay out, then I gotta wonder what's next for me.
Mhm.
So I believe that sports is very important for the youth especially.
Okay, perfect. Oh, being a sportsman, coming from a sports background and family, what are the traits that you have learned from sports that you carry into everyday life? You already
Um,
mentioned patience
yeah, patience.
and a good support system.
Self worth as well. Self
Say that
worth,
one more time for the
self
people in the
worth,
back here. One more
self worth
time.
as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
I would say self worth, especially self confidence.
Mhm.
Those are some big things that, for me personally, I struggled with in my early times as a youth.
Mhm.
Um, I remember when I first joined rugby and we started training for under-19s. I met a couple of guys, Kevin Cobham, and he was one of the guys that kind of forced me to look people in the eye and
Mhm.
speak up for yourself, that kind of thing. Um, 'Cause it was always an instance where I would look down and speak to you,
Mhm.
and he would slap me top of my head, look
Mhm.
up and talk to me, look in my eye. So
Mhm.
that kind of put me in a in a in a position where if I have to speak to somebody, I can look in your face and speak to
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
As awkward as uncomfortable it may be,
Mhm.
I have to do it because I want to show that I'm confident,
Mhm.
right? Because I think self confidence speaks a lot about a person,
Mhm.
not just in sports but everyday life,
Correct.
job interviews,
Correct.
networking with other people,
Correct.
just day-to-day conversation, because you do not know what that does for you personally and what that does for you in a networking environment.
Perfect. No. Next question is: what would you tell the athletes in the rural areas of Barbados, or the so-called ghettos, that looking to chase a dream in
Mm.
athletics? What would you tell them?
chase your dreams. Go after what you want. You never know what might happen. That's the truth.
Mhm.
Opportunities will open up for you once you put yourself in the position to attain the opportunities. Because I always tell people, um, the Lord will always give you opportunity or blessing, but it's then for you to take the opportunity to grasp that
Right.
opportunity or blessing, right? Um, so sometimes it may seem bleak, sometimes it may seem like it may never happen, but once you get that one opportunity, just take it. And I believe attitude plays a big role in that.
Yeah.
Especially to grasp opportunities that may seem out of reach. So it for me it's all about mindset. No matter where you come from, it's all about mindset. As I say, you could be as you say in from the ghetto, and you could still become somebody. You could come
Understood.
from the richest community or environment that you come from, and then still turn out not to be nobody. And I ain't a shot at nobody, but that's the truth.
Mhm.
It's all about mindset. So to me, that would be my advice to people that, as we say, come from the ghetto or are less fortunate. Basically, I know sometimes it may seem hard, but as I said, once you're in a community that sees your worth and your talent,
Mhm.
people will back you, and that's one of the main things for me. Being in the rugby community, they are in that community. There are people from different circles of life, and if you need any help or any advice, people are willing to give it to you. So as I said, it's all about attitude, all about grassy opportunity when it comes to you,
Mhm.
and let's making the most of it wherever it is.
Understood. No, my next question to you is this: what opportunities has rugby given you?
Um,
I.e., also to tell
uh-huh,
them to the places that you travel that you would never even fathom to think about
correct.
that rugby carried you to as well.
Rugby has taken me, let me say, all over the world. To be honest, places that I probably would have never thought of going. I've been to Mexico, Cayman Islands, mostly Caribbean islands. I used to St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Trinidad,
Bahamas, no here. Yeah,
Bahamas, yeah.
Bahamas.
Um,
You went St. Martin too? Yeah,
we
you went St. Martin, St.
Martinique,
Martin. Yeah,
Martinique. We went to
Guyana,
Tortola, Guyana. So
Tortola, right? Tortola.
I've seen different parts of the world that I probably would have never seen before if I wasn't playing rugby.
Yeah.
Um, I recently went to Tampa to play for West Indies as well.
Mhm.
Um,
How was that
that
experience?
was amazing. That was an experience that I probably will never forget.
Mhm.
That opportunity was eye opening for me. Um, but yeah, so rugby has given, as I said, the rugby community in itself has opens doors for you.
Mhm.
Um, as I said, the people in the community come from different circles.
Mhm.
So from old to young, if you need anything, people usually help you out. People are pointing you the right direction or give you some sort of form of advice. So it has open doors for me. It has the community welcomes anyone. Even I went Panama in March,
Mhm.
and just there on vacation, chilling away vacation with me, and they said, "Well, Panama got rugby. Let me see what's going on."
Mhm.
I speak no piece of Spanish.
Mhm.
Let's put it out there. I
Yeah.
speak no piece of Spanish.
Mhm.
The little I know, hola, whatever the case may be. And I reached out just randomly to a club in Panama, and they welcomed me with open arms. Like I was playing with them for years.
Mhm.
So it's like wherever you even wherever you go in the world, and there's rugby, and you play rugby, and you say, "Well, I play rugby," and guys open up their doors for you like they know you forever. So that's one opportunity as well that the community presents to you.
Mhm.
Um, you go anywhere in the world and say you play rugby, and they open up doors to you.
Mhm.
For me as well, you create bonds and networks in different places in the world.
Mhm.
That say you one day you decide that you going to Trinidad for vacation or whatever, and you like I say, well, I know people in Trinidad, me call them up.
Yeah.
Oh, you come in, cool, no problem. If I can't live with you,
Love.
I got somebody that come
Yeah.
and take you around and show you around the place or whatever the case
Love.
may be.
Love.
So all those different things, that work out for you in the end that you will never think before if you weren't playing sports.
Which is true. I agree. I agree 150%. So, since we're only talking on rugby, you've been selected for the West Indies team, as you just mentioned.
Mhm.
How was that? how to put it. How does that make you feel knowing that? Well, yeah, I was selected for the West Indies team, and you were granted this opportunity.
Um, Originally, I had connected with a guy named Panther, William Panther from Trinidad. Knew him for a while, so I was playing in we said St. Lucia. St. Lucia had a tournament a couple of years ago, and we connected there. He was one of the organizers, whatever the case may be. And I had reached out to him, asked him to play for a team at that time. He put me onto a team. So that connection kind of built from there in terms of talking to him and keeping in contact with the cases. And then sometime last year, he was like,
All right, perfect.
hmm,
No, you say you were selected for the West Indies team.
Mhm.
Tell me how that went. How did that make you feel being selected for the national West Indies team?
It was a surprise. I can be honest. I ain't gonna sit down here and lie. Originally, I had put myself in a group for something called Caribbean Kings. A guy by the name of Willet Panther from Trinidad. Knew him from playing in some tournaments in St. Lucia and St. Vincent over the last 2-3 years. So last year he had reached out to me and was like, well, we putting together a team, and I don't know if you're interested in playing or joining or whatever. I said, well, cool, yeah, no problem. Put myself in position, you know. Um, so then he joined the group, whoever the case is, and then he was saying, well, we got a list of tournaments that we would like to do next year, between this year and next year. And Grenada was one, but he couldn't make it. And then I had one in April, the Easter weekend this year, in Tampa, Tropical Sevens. So I was like, well, let me put my name on a try team. Never been to Tampa before.
Yeah,
I played with some different players from the Caribbean before, and it was pretty good. Because I played with Island Sharks my first year in St. Lucia, and we came second in that tournament. And the environment and the atmosphere of that team and the culture of that team was so different in terms of us playing with local players. And I said, I like that. So let me try and see if I get myself in another environment like that. So then we were on the call of every cases, and he was like, well, these situations, so for Tampa, we will not be going as Caribbean Kings, we'll be going as West Indies. And I was like, excuse me, pardon? What do you mean? What do you mean? And he was like, well, for international tournaments, we'll be reinstating and putting back together the West Indies team. And, for any regional tournaments, we're using Caribbean Kings. And I was like, okay, this is a different setting altogether. No, but I said, no, I can try my hand at it, try to put myself in a position for it. And to be honest, the players that came into that circle, I enjoyed playing with those guys thoroughly. Like the professionalism and the sportsmanship, that kind of stuff. The guys were cool, open, friendly. Like it was a different setup to the regular set I was playing with. And that tournament in itself just showed me, you can compete on the big stage with some big names. In that tournament, we played with some guys from all over the US, some guys that play for the Nigerian national team, Kenyan national team, that play on the international seventh circuit, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And to see yourself running against guys that you watch on TV or you see playing in semi-pro tournaments and that kind of stuff, you run against them and you're like, whoa, it's like this is the guys that I grew up watching, and to shake their hand and interact with them even at the tournament itself was an experience that I will never forget. So in that circle, so like the guys that put together, like with Mr. Panther and John Cassidy from Bermuda and Dylan Jordan from Trinidad, from St. Vincent, sorry. Those guys open the doors to me to West Indies, and I would say the environment was an environment that I can say that molds you into not just a rugby player, but a person in general. As much as those guys don't stand for any foolishness, they make sure that you enjoy the moment. And just want to say a big thanks to those guys as well for giving me the opportunity to experience that. And then even guys here, when I announced that, I was given opportunity to run West Indies, a lot of guys, give me some advice like Kenneth Payne and Ricky Morris and Anthony Lambert, even guys that I played with as well, like Kevin Cobham and Nicholas Chapman.
Shout out Ricky.
Yeah,
Shout out Ricky.
Yeah, those guys, Nicholas Chapman, Kyle Herbert, and those guys, and even Duran Clark. He's not here in Barbados right now. He's in Canada playing rugby as well.
I didn't know that. Blinky?
Yeah.
Okay.
So those guys, as I said, the community and the circle is what really pushes you and keeps you on that path. Because there were times I was like, traditionally I am not a sevens player. But I've come to understand, you know what? I don't know how much longer I'm playing rugby, so let me just put myself out there. And the doors have opened up, to be honest. I've played for different clubs, different invitational clubs, sevens clubs. People have reached out to me now, asking if I want to play for them in upcoming tournaments. And I say you build a community and you build a network of people in different areas of the world, and doors will open up for you. So to be honest, playing for West Indies, I'm coming off of last year where I had a amazing amazing campaign in 15s. I can't ask for anything better, to be honest. And you've given me the opportunity to play for West Indies and represent West Indies. So I'm internally grateful for the opportunity, even if it doesn't happen again. But that's something that I can say in my lifetime that I play for West Indies rugby.
That's good, man. I'm proud of you. And
Thank you.
congratulations on your first cap for the West Indies team too as well.
Thanks, man.
That's a big accomplishment, as you know, because we used to play rugby together.
Yeah.
We come up. For those who don't know, we come up on the 15,
the 15, straight at 19.
On the 19, straight senior team.
Yeah.
So. Know each other a little well now. All right. This is quick sports questions. Is the next section, right? I just want you to just answer fast, right? Do you ever think about it, right? No. Favorite sport to watch?
Football.
Favorite sport to play?
Rugby.
Which local athlete you rate the highest right now?
My cousin, the Johnny Ates, track and field athlete, 1 and 2.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
The most underrated athlete in the world today?
Mo Salah.
Boop, 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 boop. Best sporting moment you've ever witnessed, Sabif?
Lord, 19 for me when we beat Trinidad in Trinidad.
You could change one thing about sports in Barbados. What would it be?
Politics.
What sports do you think Bajans don't respect enough?
Rugby.
If you had to pick one, Olympic gold or World Cup trophy?
Ooh, that tough one. That's a World Cup.
World Cup? Me too. Oh, it's a World Cup too.
World Cup.
Who do you think is the next superstar to come out of Barbados?
Is it general or this dress? In general?
Whoa, that's a big one.
All right, make it rugby. Make it rugby.
Rugby. That's a big one there too. I would say out of Barbados, I would say there's a youngster named Simroy John.
Right, no brother?
Yeah, right, no little brother.
Yeah, I see, boy. He's a killer, boy.
Yeah, Simroy John.
All right. Which sport teaches you the hardest discipline?
I would say rugby.
Rugby? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, on to the next section, which is this or that. Athlete versus athlete. That's what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
Bolt or Michael Phelps?
Bolt.
Kobe, LeBron.
Jeez. That's a LeBron, man. LeBron. Yeah.
Serena Williams or Venus Williams?
Serena.
Brian Lara or Tanduka?
I keep it West Indies and go Brian Lara.
Lara?
Yeah.
I like Tanduka more, man.
I like Tanduka too, man. I like Lara a little more.
You like Lara a little more? Okay. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson?
Jordan.
Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan.
Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes?
Tom. Old school.
Old school?
Yeah.
Jeez, on. Shot or Tim Duncan?
Ooh. Shot. God, Tim Duncan. I would say shot.
Shot?
Shot, yeah.
All right. Nadal or Federer?
Jeez, Nadal or Federer. I would say Federer.
Federer.
Yeah, Federer.
Okay. Curry or Iverson?
Curry.
Curry.
Yeah.
All right. Lewis Hamilton or Max?
Lewis.
Lewis.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
All day, every day.
Mbappe or Salah?
Salah.
Sa-
Salah.
all day, every
I
day.
love my Salah.
And the last question:
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali?
Oh. You know, some people might cancel me for this, boy, but I like Mike.
Like Mike?
Yeah, I like Mike. I
like Mike too.
I
I
like
don't know
Mike.
why.
I like Mike. I like Mike. I like Mike for the
energy.
the energy.
The energy.
The energy.
Yeah.
The viciousness. The energy. Muhammad was slick, but you know, Mike was
ferocious,
yeah,
just a monster.
Yeah, he's just a monster.
Yeah, I know that too. You know, he when he had it back at 19, brother.
Yeah,
so you
so-
can only imagine
Yeah,
what our
BC was.
is
Yeah,
we're saying he already used to play sports.
yeah.
So you know the mindset he had got
Killer.
at 19
Killer.
in the golden era too. You know? So all right, Mr. Ram, thank you for coming on Athletic Files.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much
for episode number 2. You know? You got anything you want to tell the youth to motivate them?
As I said, don't give up your dream. Whatever dream you have, if it's sports, if it's outside of sports, if it's a dream you have to be, let me say, a carpenter, a mason, whatever the case is, even if you want to sit down and do just a desk job, make sure you do it to the best of your ability, and do not allow your environment to dictate who you are. If you want to be better, put your mind out to be better. And always take any opportunity presented to you, because you never know how it'll work out. So yeah, that's the message I got for the youth.
Okay. We'd like to thank Mr. Ram. And remember, Barbados, sports is power, the youth is the future.
Correct.